Yeah, amen to that. Like, so that's definitely a really good way of putting it because, like you said, anything that comes before God is an idol, as we know, and so
Hmm.
especially yoga could easily become that, or any form of exercise or anything, like so can really become an idol. And so with
Yeah.
with our topic on yoga, that definitely can be true when so, as I've already mentioned a couple of times, where if the focus is off of God, it definitely can be bad, or even, like I say, good yoga is definitely really good, and but at the same time, we want to make sure we incorporate our time with God, as far as getting into the Word as well.
Yeah.
Definitely make that a big important thing. So yeah, I'm definitely not fully against yoga, but I think if my personal choice, I could do without. Like I've tried yoga before, a couple of times. Like I did yoga here at my house when I was younger. Me and like two of my younger siblings. Like my mom used to have one of these like exercise tapes, and she had one on like yoga and Pilates. And oh my gosh, they had like it's so relaxing, and it's like no, I'm in pain. It's like I don't like yoga, so like I said, that definitely was. I was like, stressed out trying to keep a pose. It's like I'm trying not to fall. Like but they have just like nice music in the background, and it's like this is not relaxing. So it's not for me. So, but I've also did try this mindfulness yoga while I was in Greece. I went to Greece a few years ago, and like I went on a group trip, and anyway, like part of the trip, like so the woman that was like in charge of it, she was a like a mindfulness yoga instructor. So we did do some, and I mean it was somewhat relaxing, but like I was still more focused on am I gonna fall over and why is my leg shaking? It's like I don't know, like why am I uncomfortable and like is this going to hurt? Like am I gonna be sore? Like I don't know. Like I started thinking of everything but being in the moment. Like she's saying some really good things. Like I can't even remember like exactly what she was saying, but I guess just kind of like bringing peace into your life and stuff like that, which can be good. But it's just, I was not having a peaceful moment. I was just thinking, like, when is this going to be over so that so that I could go eat some good Greek food or like just explore more of Greece. So I just thought it's
Yoga awakens muscles you didn't even know you had.
yes, I've definitely learned that, like especially the muscles that I rarely use, and then once I start doing those yoga poses, it's like it's like ouch. It's like
Like, why did
no.
I do this?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, yoga is just it's just not my cup of tea. But if anybody out here that's watching this and if I said anything offensive about yoga, I'm sorry. It's just not my cup of tea. And like an overall, if your focus is on glorifying God through your yoga, then I'm definitely not calling you out. I'm just more of a if you're doing yoga and you're just making it all about you or about any other god, or you make yoga an idol, then that's where it becomes dangerous and bad. Well, not physically dangerous, but it becomes spiritually dangerous. So my next topic I actually want to talk about, I have a little bit more to say about this one. It's about zodiac signs. So, like, I guess when I think of zodiac signs, I think of like like the stars, and I think of like the astrology kind of stuff. And it's then like a lot of people nowadays like want to like everybody always asks each other like, "What's your sign?" And last time people get and people like giving each other their answers, and then they talk about this compatibility, and they talk about or like, are you a fire sign or whatever else. I can't even like think of all of them, but let's just people start asking all these like crazy questions, and it's like I don't know much about this, but at the same time, it just seems like it's such a huge topic that people talk about, and people want to know like horoscopes and stuff like that. So I was curious, from your like standpoint, like what do you think about like zodiac signs when it comes to Christians, like, do you think this should even be something we should even be worrying about, or do you think it's just a little bit more of like a fun thing that maybe is that I may be thinking too serious about?
I think it depends, like everything else we've talked about. It really does depend though, because like it depends on where your heart is in these things. Like I'm a Taurus. I'm an earth sign or something. I think it's earth sign. I don't know. I don't know about that part. But I do know that I'm Taurus. And like I think it's so fun to like um I love I guess I'm not one that believes that this, and if you are one that believes that, I'm not making fun of you by no means, but I don't believe that me being a Taurus has anything to do with my personality, and I don't think it has anything to do with who I am as a person. I don't think it has anything to do with who I am as a Christian. I don't think that it is not my identity in any way. Like it does not change who I am. It does not predict who I am. It Prefacing by saying that now, I love reading the stuff because they tend to be such generic things that it really could fit, I mean, but like okay, for instance, a Taurus sign is the bull sign. And so it's like you're stubborn as a bull, and like I am a stubborn person. But so is my sister who was born in February and who is, I think she's an Aquarius. I think she's an Aquarius. But like me and my sister and my parents will like talk about this stuff, and like we'll laugh about the stuff. It's like, oh, that fits me, that fits me. But then like I just said, the same thing that fits me also fits my sister. And it fits my sister because we come from the same families who have the same stubbornness that run through our families. Like stubbornness runs through my mama's side of the family all the way back to my great 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 grandfather. And like, and I know that they're not all Tauruses in that because my mom's not a Taurus. My grandmother's not a Taurus. Like they're both born in August. I don't even know what they are, to be honest. Um, but anyway, so like for me, it's something that can be fun and funny, and like I like reading the things about a Taurus, and um I've never been one to say, "Hey, my name's Caitlyn. What's your sign?" Like that's not me. Like I don't ask just random people, but like it's funny because me and one of my friends, she is a Leo, I think. I think that's it. I think that's it. But anyway, we'll just be laughing and cutting up because we're like, she'll say, like, I'll tell her something that's happened at work, and how upset or how frustrated I was in the moment, or how I laughed when I probably shouldn't have in that moment in time. But and her response is almost always, "Oh, that's such a Taurus thing to do," and like she's laughing saying it, like it's not like she really thinks that me doing that. She knows that I do that because I'm just a sarcastic and can be a very cynical person sometimes, but I'm a very sarcastic person. But I mean, my face, like I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, but my face will tell you what I'm thinking. Like Amanda has gotten onto me multiple times at work about, and I say gotten onto, use that loosely too. She has made me walk away from customers. Okay, you go do this real quick, and then I'll go do it, and I'm like, okay, it's done. I just really need to get you away from that customer because your face was telling them how stupid they sounded. And it's like, oh my, I didn't mean that. Like on my friend, and I say that, she'll say, oh, that's a Taurus thing. No, and good and dang well that she'll do the same exact thing. Like she can't control her face neither. So it's not just a Taurus thing, but it's fun. It's funny. It can be fun and funny, but there's also the side of it where how much how much thought do you put in this? How much do you believe in this? How much do you go by it? Like I don't get into the whole the earth is the sun is like located. I don't put a lot of stock into that. Like I don't put in a lot of stock into Venus's position to Mars and Neptune's extra blue. I think it's blue. Neptune's extra blue tonight. So like I don't know. Like I don't put stock in that. Now, yes, I think the sky is beautiful. Yes, I do love looking at the stars and the planets that I've always thought my whole life were stars, but you can actually see them because they're planets at certain times and points and stuff. Like I think that's so. I think that the stars and stuff are so cool because it reminds me of God, not because I put stock into what the position of the stars has to do in my life. Because to me, like there's a country song. Um, I know was it you that said you didn't like country, or was that Dale?
That was me.
Okay. So there's this one country song that and it kills me because the one and the guy who sings it, and I can't even think who sings it right now, but the guy who sings it also has a song about God. So, but then he says that in the song he says, "I tip my hat to the." Maybe he is talking about God. Anyway, it was I was about to get mad, go on this mad rant about the song, but I'm thinking about like maybe I'm wrong. But it's he said it, and he does because he says, "I tip my hat to the keeper of the stars." So that I can't get mad about that song.
Mhm.
What? There's a song that talks about my lucky stars. What is that? But every time it's like a song that a lot of people know and like, and I'm sitting here going, I don't think my lucky stars. I think my Jesus. So like I've changed the lyrics to the song when I sing it. Like you're supposed to say, think my lucky stars. No, it's God bless the USA by Lee Greenwood.
Oh
He says,
yeah.
I knew it was something. I knew it would come back to me too. But he says, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today. And it's like, this is such a great song. I'm thankful that I live in the USA too. But I don't thank my stars for that. I thank my Jesus for that. Because I mean, and yes, I understand America is going through America has its problems like everywhere in the world, but there I don't know how to say this without it sounding terrible. We are very lucky. No, let me take that back. We're very blessed to live in a nation where women aren't treated like dogs, where different nationalities aren't treated like dogs. Yes, I understand that there is sexism and racism in the United States, but it goes both ways. Like being here though was not because the sun lined up with Jupiter just right. God put me here. Just like he put one of my classmates that he put their family in Mexico and then their family had to work their way here. You know, I have a classmate who or my teacher that's from Spain. Like she's legit from Spain, but she's a professor at Montevallo and she's a fantastic teacher and she's a fantastic person and you're like you live in this beautiful country, why are you in the United States? Because we as Americans can see all the flaws, but that I mean it doesn't just happen just because the stars lined up in the correct way. Like, and as a Christian to delve into that, if I had my notes from last time, I had a Bible verse for this too, but it talks about in the Bible, I wish I had my notes because it's going to drive me crazy, but it talks about how we have to be careful of the magicians and astronomers was one of them. I don't know, but it's like there's like a whole list. Satraps, magicians. It's like all the people that tried to get Daniel thrown in the lion's den, who tried to get Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego thrown into the fiery pit. Like all these people that were in the Bible were against Christians like this. Those are the ones that God warns us to be careful of. And we live in a world now where back then everything was more black and white. And as we've been talking like that, we've had a lot of gray area in our discussions, because it's like we as Christians who are firm in our faith are like, wherever your heart is, wherever your heart is, wherever your heart is, God knows your heart. As long as it's towards Jesus, then it's okay. But there is a line. I mean, it really is. It's not as gray as we're kind of making it out to be, because there comes a time when Jesus says this is not okay. And it's like, it's okay up until this point,